Welcome to this video on configuring Filr to use MFA with Advanced Authentication. My name's Robin Redgrave. I'm a solutions consultant based out of the UK. So first of all, let's cover what is Filr. Essentially, it enables secure remote access to your existing file store. So these may be files that you've got sitting on a Windows server, open enterprise server, and so on. But the great thing is you don't need to migrate your data to another environment. And because it stays where it is, we can use the existing access controls. When implementing it, there's no change to your existing infrastructure. We don't install agents on the server. We don't extend your directory schema or anything. We have clients for web, for desktop, that's Windows, Mac, Linux, mobile with iOS and Android. Users can obviously access their files and indeed take files offline if they want to. Another thing that it does is it enables users to securely share files with internal colleagues, but even ad hoc external users. But the great thing is that all those sharing rights are managed by you and your IT department. With Filr Advanced, you get a free entitlement for Advanced Authentication Limited. This is a version that has SMS one-time password, email one-time password, time-based one-time password, and a few other methods. The starting configuration that we've got here, Filr is set up, we've got our users imported. As far as advanced authentication is configured, we've created the LDAP repository, that's pointing at the same LDAP environment that our Filr system is, and users have enrolled into the relevant authentication methods. So as far as advanced authentication side of things is concerned, first of all we need to create some chains that the authentication method is going to use. So we just need to create the chain, specify what method or indeed methods we want to use with it, and then specify which users or groups are going to be using that. So here we just go into chains, create a new chain. We'll call this SMS chain. And of course that's going to use the SMS one-time password, and then specify who's going to use it. In this case I've got a group called AA SMS that's going to use it, that's been imported, and so any users I want to use that method we've put in there. I'm just going to save that, and then I'm just going to add another chain, and we'll call this card chain, and that's going to use smart card. And this time around I've got a group called AA card that's going to use that. We'll just save that. So next we need to create an event for the Filr authentication, and we need to configure that as an OAuth 2 event, and we just need to add the chains that we want to use. So let's just add a new event. I'm just going to call this Filr. Type is going to be OAuth 2. I'm going to use that card chain and the SMS chain. So by using two chains here, I'm saying that the user has to authenticate to one of those. Next, we need to take that client ID and secret and get those over to Filr. So you can see here the client ID, and here is the secret. This is the only time you're going to be able to see it. Once you've saved this, you're not going to be able to view that. Within the Filr administration console, we need to go into the NetIQ Advanced Authentication and enable it. We then need to just enter the server URL, and then we need to take that client ID and secret and put that in there. So we just need to enable it, put in the server URL, which in my case is https://aauth.demo.live. Client ID we can just copy across from here, and I'll just paste that in there, and then we want to take that client secret and do the same with that. So as far as the tenant name that we've got there, typically you'll be using top, but Advanced Authentication does support multi-tenanting. So if you've got multiple tenants on your Advanced Authentication environment, then you'll need to specify what that tenant is there. And indeed, Filr supports multi-tenanting, with each zone within Filr can use a separate advanced authentication tenant if you wish. What we next need to do is copy those URLs that you may have noticed on the Filr side and paste those into the event in Advanced Authentication. If you're going to be using additional host names, you'll need to copy that and add a second set of URLs to that with your other host name or host names that you may be using. So let's just have a look at that. So here, these are the URLs. I just need to select those and copy those across into this field here. So let me just save that one. And on the administration console here, before I do a save, I'm just going to do a test. You can see that's come back successfully. So let's close that down and say OK to save that. So let's just test that out. I'll log in here. Oh, before I hit login there, let's just bring up my mobile phone so you can see that. There, I'll hit login. And you'll see here that I get prompted for a code. And on my phone, you can see that code's just arrived, 397093. And click next. And there we go. I've managed to authenticate there. Let's just go to my files. So I'll see my home drive here. And let's just take one of these files here, and I'm going to share that with Adam. And let's say that he can edit this file. Let's say that it expires on next Saturday. So add a message and save that. So now you can see Adam has received an email telling him that that has been shared with him. And let's open up that mail message. So you can see I can just click on that file to see the file that's been shared with me. I'll just log in as Adam. Type in his password. So Adam is a member of that other group, the AA card group, so he's going to need to have his smart card authentication. Before I log in here, let's just bring up a screen so you can see what's going on. So I'll just click login, and this time you can see it's waiting for my smart card authentication. So I'll just pop that on the reader, and you can see there I've got access to the file that we've just shared with the user. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.